Welcome to your weekly US news update. We have 3 stories for you this week. DARPA hands out half prizes at the Lift Challenge. We have a drone that saves a life during a really cool delivery. We also have the FCC that weighs in on banning more DJI drones and more foreign drones. So let's get to that. DARPA's Lift Challenge wrapped up in Dayton, Ohio this weekend, and the winner wasn't really some futuristic multi-rotor. It was actually a very basic single-rotor helicopter that was called a Katana. It carried over 3.8 times its weight, the best ratio of the week. The target for the challenge was actually 4-to-1 ratio, but nobody hit that. So under the contest rule, every prize would actually cut in half. So the first place took home $1.25 million, which, is nothing to sneeze at instead of the $2.5 million. Every team that pushed harder for the full 4-to-1 ratio actually failed. Some of them ran out of batteries mid-course, others had structural issues. And the basic takeaway here is that lift is not really the problem for the heavy drones anymore. The battery energy really is. If you get a chance to see some of the footage, it was actually really cool. Failure is part of this whole process, but it's cool to see that they get pretty close, although not to the end. Next story is in Sweden, actually. A man in his 60s survived a cardiac arrest after a drone beat the ambulance to the scene. The autonomous aircraft was airborne just 15 seconds. 15 seconds, think about that, after the emergency call came in. It flew to the address and lowered a defibrillator on the winch line. The bystander that was there grabbed it, followed the instructions from the dispatcher that was on the phone, and then shocked the man's heartbeat back to a regular rhythm before the paramedics even arrived on scene. This is part of a network of 6 drones that are based in Sweden that cover 300,000 residents, with the drones beating ambulances by several minutes on average. Now, here in the US, we covered this, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. Similar trials are going. This is in North Carolina and Virginia, but they still need to have case-by-case FAA approval. Now, Sweden runs this as a routine dispatch procedure. Now, the rules that could get us there in the United States, called Part 108, is sitting at the White House right now for approval. Rumors that the wait for Part 108 is almost over. We'll see. So if you want to get updated, make sure that you subscribe. We'll let you know when that goes live. And last up, this is now the second time that we've covered this story. We need you to go comment before September 2nd of 2026. Now, this is important. If you haven't heard, the FCC is considering a rule that could pull existing foreign-made drones off the shelves. This isn't really for new models. We've talked about this at length. This is about actually some that are already approved by the FCC, like the Mini 5 Pro or the Air 3S that you may have already. The proposal targets what the FCC calls military-grade tech. Now, their definition is a bit loose. It includes LiDAR, it includes thermal cameras, agricultural spraying, docking stations, and drones that are over 55 pounds. Now, the problem is that those are not really just military features. They're obstacle avoidance, for example, for LiDAR, and commercial payloads that you see on pretty much every advanced drones these days. Now, LiDAR, for example, helps your drone avoid collision at night or even during the day, while thermal cameras help search and rescue teams find missing people. If this passes, you could still fly the drone that you own, but you may not be able, or you would not be able, to find and buy a new one of the model that you have or replace parts, even though they have already been approved by the FCC. Now, this would prevent you from buying pretty much anything that's existing right now from DJI, Autel, or any other brand that are foreign made, and that just has the tech that we mentioned. So public comments are open until September 2nd, so make your voices heard. This is pretty important. We're going to have a full video explaining kind of more details on this, but I feel like this is all you need to get started. We also have an upcoming webinar on August 20th. This is with Cal Nordforce. Cal is the instructor that teaches our search and rescue courses. He's going to be reviewing the challenging situations that SAR teams are being faced with on the field. He's going to dissect every single one of them and then see what can be learned from all these situations. You also will have a chance to bring your own challenges, anything that's related to training, standard operating procedures, equipment, case studies, and anything else is basically fair game during the webinar. So we'll see you there. There's information down in the description. And then the conversation, as always, continues on post-flight, where we're going to talk about all of these stories uncensored in the premium community. Link is also in the description. And we'll see you on the live Q&A on Monday. In the meantime, you have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.